here again. It might not be exactly the same, but it is almost the same. So what it will do to this person, you will find that probably they've been living with trauma that has not healed, you know.
Yeah.
And now because of this that has come and it has triggered that which happened that other time, it will probably take them back to something that we call a relapse. A relapse is a situation where you've probably gone through treatment, you've you've gone miles and probably healed, but something happens and it takes you back to where you were. So what one of the things that it is bringing is those traumas, and definitely because of what people have seen. Maybe you were out with your parent or your friend or your whoever, and they were shot in front of you.
Yeah.
What will that do to you? You will definitely live with that picture in your head.
Yes.
You will never be able, or if you will, probably. We say that healing is different for everyone. It might take you a shorter time. It might take another person a longer time. So it depends. And also, it also depends with how you deal with it. Are you bold enough to go out and ask for help, for someone to come in and help you deal with this? Or are you going to just curl back and keep it to yourself? And because of this, it will eat into you.
Yes.
And probably even take you into other things. Yeah. So one of the things this is bringing is trauma. There's a lot of trauma that is causing. I was watching news. When is it? Is it in the news, or I saw it in the on YouTube of this school kid, a high school kid that was shot 8 times. Yeah. And you know, this is someone that was just living their life. They're from school. They are probably going home, and then they've met with this, and you know, this person is going to live with these wounds. When you have a bullet wound on your body, it is not a scar that is going to go away. It is something that you will always look at, and it will remind you of what happened that day. It will remind you of a space that looked like death to you, you know, and it will live in your head. And another thing that will come from this is also that this person might be fearful, number one, of using the same routes, you know, seeing the same persons. Could be police, labda akiona police yako like yo. Me and police don't match. Yes. You know, things like those. Probably also, it could also bring anger. Anger of someone that probably they had a friend of theirs, but instead of this friend helping, they ran away. You know?
You feel betrayed.
We, being normal human beings, the way we process things is totally different. It could happen to me, and I'll be able to understand that this person was saving their lives, but another one will be like, I thought we were friends. Why did you leave me? You know? So it is bringing a lot of things. Yes.
All right, so let's talk about just before the protest. I'll go back a bit. Assuming the opposition has said next week on Wednesday we'll be going to the demonstrations. Between now and Wednesday, there's almost a preparation, you know. On Wednesday I won't be opening my business, so I won't be going to work. On Wednesday my family needs to be home. So we are preparing ourselves, whether financially, stocking food at home so that you don't have to go to the shop. Is there a mental preparation that someone has to do ahead of demonstrations when you know it's a particular date? So you have to prepare yourself, you know, this is what I need to do, this is some of the things I need to do on that particular day while just at home or while I go out demonstrate. What are some of these things?
Let me pick a very basic person, probably a hawker on the streets. This is probably someone who is living from hand to mouth. Like they don't have something that is, you know, stocked. Like I have a whole week ready for me. It is an everyday thing that I have to go to the streets so that my kids can eat today. So you will find that this mother there's no one that has come to her or him, whoever they are, and told them, take these 3, you know, kgs of unga so that they can cover you for the coming days, for the days that there will be a demonstration. There's no one that has prepared this person. And now you will find that what will happen to this person is that because of whatever is happening, there will be anger. Because this person is angry at these people that don't care. And that is why you hear a lot of things like, you don't care about us, you care about yourselves. That is anger coming out of them. Because definitely this person is up there and this other one is down here. So this distance has not been covered. There's nothing, it's just a space that has nothing. So, and the person that is down here is feeling angry that the one that is at the top, the one that probably should, if you want me to do this, could you, Basi, do something for me so that I am able to go out and do this which you want me to do. So there's that anger. There is definitely loss because they are going to lose their business for that day. They will not be able to cover up for the days that they have lost. So there's loss. Yeah, there's anger. There's also the fear of, will I be able, if I go back, will my business be the same? Yeah, you know, maybe you're used to, those customers that come to you today. What if every day? What if the customer that comes to you every day is the one that was short yesterday? There's a lot of things that are just coming with it, and there's anger, there's unforgiveness, there's fear, there's loss. People are losing their businesses. People are losing their money. And because of this, utapata tu mtu kwa nyumba labda, this woman, this father, this aunt, this brother, this sister, has maybe little ones that are looking at them and they're waiting.
Yeah.
What do you do to them?
Yeah.
What do you do to them? Do you give them water and probably tell them, they are used to you going out and in the evening there's food for them to eat, but you're here. It is not happening. Like the times of COVID, that is when we had many cases of suicide. Because someone has been pushed to the wall, they do not have any other direction to look. So they give up. Because probably they don't have the courage to, explain to these young ones. And even if you explain to them, they don't understand. They're still young. They know your mom, your dad. You're the one who brings bread. You're the one who brings food. You're the one who brings what we need. So what are you telling us? Yeah. So it could also push people to that direction of choosing to give up. Yeah. And that is death. Yeah.
Yeah, and perhaps what you've also said will justify this anxiety that goes around when there are demonstrations. You just, when you're walking in the streets, you can feel it as if it's cold,
Yes.
You look, or you're passing somebody else and there's this eye contact, almost communicating like, it's demonstration day. So yeah, it might explain the anxiety. But now let's come to two different types of people here. There are those who go out to demonstrate, very active on the streets. And there are those who would rather stay home or stay indoors and just watch it on TV. Sort of two different characters. One, fear, or the other, courage, if you call it. How do we explain these two different types of people?
In psychology, it is that is how it is. They are actually, people are different. If a lion appeared here right now, one person will scream, another one will freeze, another one will go and attack the lion, another one will do something. It is different how we react to danger. Yeah. And now let's now take this demonstration now as our lion. It is here. There's this person that is like, if I stay at home, I'm gonna die of hunger, or my kids are going to starve to death. So what happens? I'd rather go out and die trying, the soldier kind of spirit. Yeah. I'd rather go out and die as I am trying. But there's this other person You don't know why. Probably it is something that is already in them. Probably it is something they have already gone through. Maybe this person that is courageous enough to go out has never, seen these things. So they don't have an idea.
Curiosity.
Of, yes. They don't even have an idea of what it is. So they're like, anyway, let me just go. Come and buy. Or there's the same person can also be the one who is like, kama nilipita hiyo 207, even this one I can. It is not as bad as that one. But there's this other one who is like, I wouldn't want to go through the same thing I went through that other time. Yeah. Or I wouldn't want to go out and see the same things I saw that other time. So fear has taken them back to their cocoons, and they are not able to overcome that. Yeah. So one has overcome fear, and this other one has not been able to. Yeah. Yes.
So the one that is out there on the street, very much active, running battles, tear gas here and there, the screaming, the shouting, those at home will call them idle and say, those people have got nothing to do, they're just idle. But in real sense, maybe what the ones are out there fighting for will come to pass, and it will benefit those who are back at home.
Yeah.
So what those back at home, what sort of mindset should they have? Yes, they're at home, they don't want to demonstrate, they'd rather just watch it on TV, or what they say, keyboard warriors, they'll just tweet and be on social media and say, it's this way and that way at a particular place. What sort of mindset should they have, whether they have to support those out on the streets or condemn those out of the streets?
What I'll say is, choosing peace is a very important thing. Yeah. That is why, in fact, if you ask me, which side are you on? I am on the side of peace. Ever. And yes, we are doing all these things, and there is probably this person that is at home. Maybe they don't have the understanding of what this other person has gone through, or why they are out, trying to dodge those tear gas and the bullets and whatever else that comes after them. So, I don't know. Maybe we should have. There's this thing that had been started some times back. I don't know if it still works. Nyumba kumi.
Oh yes. Yeah.
The nyumba kumi thing. I think this will be the best time for this to happen. Or for this to be put in practice, because how is my neighbor who is out there, like, is he okay? Why is he out, throwing those stones? Why is he just putting their lives at risk, knowing that anything can happen? So there's that part of allowing ourselves to understand each other, even before I judge you as Cynthia. Sorry. I would like to come and probably sit down with you, maybe exchange ideas, maybe listen to your thoughts, and understand, when you're going out to do this, where are you coming from? What really makes you, go out there and do whatever you do? And if I get to understand your thoughts and maybe your feelings, your emotions, and whatever else that is pushing you to go out there, then is there anything that I can bring in to help you look into this in a different perspective, instead of doing what you're doing, and probably it is not very safe for you. Yes. So I think we should have those moments of, just sitting and understanding each other, listening to each other, not just listening na kusikia. There's listening and there's hearing and there's listening. When you're listening to someone, you understand what they're saying. Yes.
Great. Now, this particular group that is just at home, it can be so tiresome sometimes. Just watching on TV, you're not actively participating or running, but at the end of the day, you're just so tired. Someone might think you have been working. So is this something that also comes with demonstrations, just that mental fatigue? You might not be that, we'll come to the active participants, well, after the end of the day, after running around, and then what? But for those who are just non-active back at home, what is this mental fatigue that comes with just watching the demonstrations?
Let me tell you something. Your body is your body just the way it is, you know. If you're not, you've had people say that I am just tired.
Yeah.
This person has not been working, but they are just tired because their brain, your brain is meant to, you know, to control everything in your body. Like the responses it receives, the ones it gives, it's just active all the times. But when it is active on the negative energy, definitely it gives your body, what your body receives is negative energy.
Yeah.
And what happens? You will definitely be fatigued. You will get tired. And that is where it gets to a point where you find people are tired and they just can't do it anymore. So it is just psychologically normal for your body to get tired when it is feeding on negative energy.
Yeah.
Have you listened to these people that are negative all the time? And it gets to a point you're like, you know, it's not like I'm on the field playing football or doing dishes or something, but you're just tired listening to this person because what they feed you is not the right thing for your body. And definitely because of that, it will get into your body as junk, if I may call it that. It will be junk in your body. And definitely psychologically, digesting on those things and allowing, you know, your brain just processing all that, it will definitely give your body negative energy, and that is leading into fatigue. Yes.
All right, so those back at home are feeding on the negative energy
Yes.
that is on TV. Now those out
And definitely because of our news nowadays, you watch news and you're like, my goodness, is there anything good
positive,
we can? Yeah. At least one positive thing. Someone died, someone was killed, sijui the government has done this, the opposition has, you know, it's always, as per now, there are people who stopped watching news. I know people who like completely stopped watching news because
it doesn't add any positive value to them. All right, so what about those out on the streets now? So we've talked about those who are at home just watching, they're feeding on this negative energy. But those out on the streets, this gives them blood rush. This is what excites them. Yeah, you know, they get that adrenaline. They want to run. They want tear gas. They want this and that. What is the mindset of this person out there? They might not have. They might have that curiosity. They might not have been through a traumatic experience that will tell them, you know, stay home. But they want to be out there. You know, what sort of mindset is this, for lack of a better word?
My question would be, how is their mental health? Is it stable enough? Can they process things like a normal person? Or are they just people that, you know, something is wrong mentally and their process system is not in order sometimes? And, or are they on drugs or something? You know, they are different. I'm sure if you picked like randomly these people and you interviewed them, you will get different people. There's someone that is genuinely out because of the way the country is, the way our economy is right now, and they are genuinely out fighting for that. There's that one person. There's another person, alisikia tu rafiki yake, you know, those stories of high school of, are you going to the loo? Oh yeah, twende. You know, you go. And another one has come with stories, yesterday ilikuwa moto, and they are just, you know, curious. I would like to go and see that. There's another one that just, you know, they're just tired with life. They're like, they don't have anything left in them that pushes them to do anything positive. They have just given up in life. You will also find them out there. There's another one that is an addict of drugs probably. This one is just living. Wherever it finds me, ni sawa. Ikinipata town, sawa. Ikinipata home, sawa. Or, like, they just live. Wherever the drug pushes them, they'll go there. So you will find that you can't really classify, you can't put people in one group and say that the ones that are out there are the ones who are probably genuine. No, they are different categories. So you can't put them together. They are different. Yeah.
So now, after the demonstrations are over, and there's now an order, go back home, or not even an order, but you're now starting to get fatigued physically. You've been running, so you say, okay, it's time now for me to retire and go back home.
Or you went back home with an injury.
Yeah. So now they're tired physically. Yes, they'll eat maybe ugali and just regain their strength. But now, what about when they sleep now? Is the adrenaline still there? Are they looking forward to the next demonstrations? Or will they be like, no, I'm so tired, I will never go to another one? So now what next? They've participated actively, then now what next?
What is their motive, first of all? What are they looking for? Is it the fun, if that is what they find in doing that? Is it the fun in it? Or is it that I am fighting for this economy thing? It depends. Depending on what their motive is, that will determine if the following day they will go out and get tired, even maybe twice more than they did yesterday. It will really, determine that. But there's another one that will sleep and they will go through everything that has happened throughout the day. The way they missed a bullet by just
a whisker.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's not worth it. So again, it is different. It depends. It's like the way, you have to be here before 7 in the morning for you to read news and, do the newspapers and everything. But there's another person who has a business in town and they have employees. So they can go to town at 11, or they can choose to stay at home. So it really depends on what pushes you to do that which you do. What is pushing you if you're going out in the streets? What is pushing you? And whatever is pushing you, is it worth it? Is it worth you maybe losing your hand? Maybe you being hurt in another way? Maybe you seeing people die in front of you and all those chaos? Is it worth it? Yeah.
And some of these people that will be out demonstrating, by the way, it is a right in the Constitution to picket and to demonstrate.
Yeah.
And so you'll find them that they're back to normal programming. You work in an office and some of the colleagues maybe at the office were demonstrating, but when you meet them the next day, it's just like nothing ever happened. Are they living in the ignorance that maybe this is not just who you are? It's not like you to just sit in the office the whole day. Maybe it's like you to be out there actively engaging, and they're just back to normal programming. And then there are those who perhaps will be out, in the streets, so they will not come to work tomorrow. They're just looking for something active to do, aside away from work. So how can you explain that?
Like, again, there's something I said, the way we process things. If, like this person that is able to, bring everything together again and just settle down, it's different. But there's this other person that would want the same energy, like, I just want to be, running all the time. But there's this other person that wants to, it's over, calm down, sit down, forget everything happened, and pick up from where you left. But there's this other person. It's like if you go to a new maybe trade and visit a friend who is not of your tribe, and they give you food that you have never tasted before, and you taste and you like it. What will you do if you go back home?
You will want to try it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you find the ingredients, you will definitely do it. But there's this other person that will visit the same friend. They will be given this food. They will eat it, and we are done. Yes. So it is different how you want it.
How we process things.
How we process it. Yes.
Great. So now there's a question on how do protest group influence the identity of individuals. We've, as a society, accommodated to labeling those protesting as, violent, as rogue, as idle, and we've put this tag on them, despite the fact that perhaps they are protesting for all the right reasons. They feel like the economy is just too harsh.
Yes.
It is very much unbearable, and they're genuinely out there on the street, somebody's father, somebody's mother, but we've put this tag on them that they're violent, that they are the wrong people, the ones doing wrong in the society. Well, indeed, they're protected by the Constitution to go out and demonstrate.
Yes.
Well, whether it's peaceful or not, that's a different question. But just the fact that they're out there protesting, they're doing it on a genuine reason. But we've put this tag that these people are violent, these people are thieves, these people are robbers. Well, of course, you'll have effects of some gangs of thieves coming out. But the protests have put tags on people, and we'd love to label these individuals on just, various names. Is that justified? Are we justified to do that?
I have a question. We are in town. Let's assume that we are taking part in this. There's Lucy has a shop on this side. Lucy has not done anything to you. They haven't done anything to this economy that is affecting all of us. It is not like there's a specific group of people that is affected and another one has been favored. All of us are in this together. We are suffering together. All of us are paying taxes. But then when you are, hurting your partner or your neighbor or your friend, or that person that you met that day on the streets, or you're messing up with their business, and in the name of demonstrating, is it really genuine? Like, do we find it okay to go out and include even people? Nikama, you just came home, you're angry, and you find your dog is sleeping on, outside somewhere, and you just kick it. Is it part of what happened to you? It is not. Then why are you kicking it? So I think really in this whole thing, I feel like we are taking advantage of everything. And, them being labeled or us labeling them, or calling them names. If you're being found in the acts of violence, what kind of a person are you? You're violent. If you are, maybe killed the first person, the second person, the third person, who are you? You're a murderer. Yeah? If you've been found stealing, and you don't have, okay, sometimes murder can happen from an accident.
Yeah.
Probably you are defending yourself, which is allowed by the Constitution if you're defending yourself. But if you're doing it, out of just, satisfying your emotions or the way you're feeling, or I don't know, just the way we said when we were starting that there's a spirit behind it.
Yeah.
It really leaves now the other person who is probably calling you names at a very tricky position to actually sit and decide this person is not violent, because you've done it today, you've done it another day. Like, you're out every day, to throw those stones, to break those shops, to steal from them, to steal from people, to beat people, to hurt people. Then what kind of a person are you? Yeah?
Yeah.
So I feel like, again, there are those that have been caught up in that, and there are those that have just probably made a decision to be violent. Yes.
So in other terms, what we're saying is protests definitely influence the sort of identity people take, because there's this tag that goes around, and I'll put it in quotes, watu wa Kongoa really, and we've sort of directed it to a particular ethnic group. I mean, in those kind of incidences, yes, there are those who will take part in the protest, but there are those from that particular ethnic group who will stay home and prefer to just stay away from the violence, but we've still generally labeled them as quote-unquote watu wa Kongoa really.
Which is wrong. Which is wrong. I feel like now that is where we start being tribalistic, which is not okay, because if you go there, I'm sure, if you speak Meru, probably there will be a Meru there. If you speak Kikuyu, there will be Kikuyu there. If you speak Luya, there will be Luya. So like, there's no, we can't put it on a particular group or an ethnic group and decide that tribe Fulani is the one that does 1, 2, 3. You know, we can't really do that. It's the way you'll hear someone say, sijui wa Meru wako. I am using Meru because I am Meru.
Okay, yeah.
But tuko na asira, sijui which tribe likes money, sijui which one is proud, the other one is
foodiest.
Yes. It's, who doesn't like money? Then why are we working if we don't like money? And it is here for us. It is here for us to to have it. So I don't really think it is right to put to put a tribe or a name on this when it is happening. It's just a group of people, whoever they are, whatever tribe they are, that have just decided, I am going out and I'm doing this. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Now, there's a different factor now, very sensitive about our children, who have largely been affected, whether it's not going to school because schools have been cancelled, or they see this on TV, or unfortunately some of them get injuries, over protests that they're not even part of. Somebody shot 9 times, they were not part of the protest. Somebody being tear gas while at home, they were not part of the protest.
Yes.
Now, this child, after seeing all this that is happening, how does this affect their character eventually in real life?
There's something that we call childhood trauma. It happens a lot, and actually most of the things that happen to us when we are growing up, like the character that we grow into as we are growing, is most of the time based on how we grew up. If you find someone that is, there are these people that we call introverts. Not all people are genuinely introverts. Some of them are introverts because they grew up alone. So this person doesn't have any other person they talk to. They are always alone. The only person they talk to is their dolls. And you will find that now when they have outgrown these dolls, have you met these people that talk to themselves?
Yeah.
They are not mad. They are not. It is because even in their younger age, they were used to, talking to an imaginary character, or they were talking to this doll, and now they have outgrown that. Now they have to create an imaginary character in their minds so that their lives is able to continue normally, as according to them, normally.
Yeah.
So you will find that these children will grow with childhood trauma. Say someone will be traumatic to loud noises, maybe gunshots. Another one will be traumatic to smoke because they saw a lot of tear gas. Another one will be traumatic to screens. So it depends. Maybe a child almost drowned when they were small. When they grow, they'll be traumatic to, masses of water. Maybe another one fell off a cliff when they were young. When they grow, they'll be, traumatic to heights. So it will grow with them. And until we are able to sit down and actually realize that these children, after all these things are happening, they need help. They need to be taken to a place where they'll be able to heal, and that these memories in their head will be taken care of, But if not, they will grow with them, and it will definitely affect their character, even as they become adults. Yes.
Is there a way we can protect that before it happens?
How can we do that? It is happening in there, unless you lock them in the house. But even if you lock them in the house, is there a way you can lock a gunshot from
going through your house?
Yes. Yeah. We can try, but I can't say that we can do it 100%. Yes.
So how do we try? Because like when the government says schools have closed from Wednesday, assuming from Wednesday to Friday,
Yes.
which means these children are stuck with you at home, which means alternatively they will have to watch TV
Yes.
or listen to radio or go to the veranda and see what is happening out there. And so how do we protect them from just, seeing these gruesome scenes, whether it's happening on TV or just out there, somebody has been shot and they're likely to see it. So what now do we do then to ensure that we're able to keep them mentally, sane?
All right. For kids, for children, I'll say that they're like, plain papers that you have, and they collect what you give them. I visited a client of mine a few days ago. She has children. One is 4, another one is around 2 and a few months old. And in her home, there's no TV. So these kids do not know these things
What's
of
happening?
Cocomelon or sijui nini. They just know their mom, what their dad says, or whoever else is in the house. So you find that there could be, say, probably there has been cartoons that have been even banned from children, being aired on TV. These children don't have an idea, so they won't be affected. So there's that part that we have control over, which is TV, maybe friends. Friends means the people that are around your place,
yeah.
because in school you can't control, yeah, we can control a part of it. We can. The other part is for you now to instill. And what are you instilling in them? If you are living in an area where there's a lot of crime, it is for you to teach your child and to tell them the negatives about crime and the positives. But then you will find that there's always the positive and the negative of everything that we have. So it is for you to teach them both, but then not just teaching, help them choose the right way.
Yeah.
Yes. So what you can't control, you can teach them, and you can instill maybe morals or something in them. Yes.
Does this apply to all age groups? Because you have kids who are, in grade 1, in PP something, and then you've got the teenagers who are largely, can make decisions, but of course under a lot of guidance.
Yes.
So does that apply to all the age groups? Because I can imagine telling a 15-year-old, you're not going to watch TV today. So does that apply to all age groups?
What I tell parents is that if you can talk to your child and they listen and they understand, you don't have to beat. Yeah? You don't have to use a cane. And if someone is say a young adult, or these ones that are in the teenage group, these are people you can sit down with and talk, one-on-one.
Yeah.
Like, let's, talk. These are people that you can sit down and talk to, and you can actually exchange your thoughts. Listen to your thoughts, let them listen to yours, and do this to get together. Because another thing that happens, especially with this, with teenagers, is that parents who wants to be the bosses. You forget that this is someone that is in an age where they are looking for a place to belong.
Yeah.
They are trying to belong somewhere. So you have to allow them to also, speak what they feel, what they want, what they think about. Listen to them, but then guide from there. But for the little ones, these ones you can say no, and make it firm. You can say no TV today, no 1, 2, 3. We are not doing that. We are not going there. Yeah. So it is. You don't include all of them together. Those that you can talk to, you can sit down and talk to them. Those that you have to make decisions on their behalf, do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now we've told these children you're not going to watch TV. You're going to just stay indoors. So what are these activities should they be doing to keep them busy? Because an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So what are these things we need to tell them to keep on doing so that we keep them busy, but they're also just within our eyes, so that we're also looking at, what they're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This is now where you look at your child. Do you really know your child? What do they like doing? What are their talents? What are their gifts? Have you supported those talents and gifts? Because if probably someone likes drawing, they are artistic, or they like singing, or they like dancing, you will definitely, invest in them when it comes to those gifts and talents. And you will find that most of the time, actually, they wouldn't even be sitting for long watching that TV. You don't want them, because they are busy doing what they love doing. And if they are watching this TV, they are looking for something that is interesting to them, not the news to see how the demonstrations are going.
Yeah.
They are looking probably for probably a station that brings music that they like, or the dance, lessons that they like, or the anything it is that they like. So investing also in the things that they like will also save you a lot. Yeah, when it comes to trying now to have them together. Yes.
All right, so enough about the kids. So let's now come back to the adults. If you look at the trend of demonstrations, there are areas where people are demonstrating, and there are areas where people are not, and it's business as usual.
Yeah.
And largely, you have the high class, the middle class, you have the low class, and their behaviors are different. And we've seen people have alluded this to perhaps just the education level. There are those who, are well learned. They don't see the essence of going out there. They know that it's back in the policies. They understand, the structures, it's all in the policies, what the government needs to do. But you have those who are low class, who have largely been termed the uneducated, and those are the people that perhaps are largely out there on the streets. Psychologically speaking, these two people, they're all humans, but has it got a lot to do with their education, or is it just about the character of the people they are?
There's something called stereotyping. Stereotyping is where you decide Africans are like this, whites are like this, learned people are like this, unlearned people are like this. Sometimes you might find a percentage of truth in that, but not everyone. There's someone who is not a degree holder. They've never been to a college, probably. Maybe they went up to probably Form 3 even. But the way they process things is different. And actually, you may bring another person who has 3 degrees or maybe a doctorate or something, put them together. But the way this one reasons is so mature compared to this one that has, all those degrees and whatever level of education you're looking at. So, again, the way we process things, I'll go back to that. It is totally different.
Yeah.
But at some, in other cases, you might also find a truth that those that are not educated, as we may put it like that, their level of thinking sometimes might be lower than those that have, have a certain level of education. So we can't, again, include all of them there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that wouldn't explain why you have nurses striking and doctors striking and teachers striking. Yeah, so I believe it falls down to the stereotyping, as you've put it, and just identifying, who and why they're demonstrating, and how do they process to these issues. So as because I'm being informed we're almost out of time. Now, let's talk about now post-demonstrations. Yes, we've demonstrated on Wednesday. Thursday is a new day. Then what? What are we looking at now?
Then what? It is so unfortunate. Sorry, that after this, at times we have wounds to heal. We have trauma to deal with, we have fear to deal with, we have anger to deal with, unforgiveness, you know. There's loss and grief, by the way, for those people that have lost their loved ones, their friends, their colleagues. And it is so unfortunate that some of these losses, we will never be able to restore them, no matter how much we try. Like if someone has died, they are gone. They are never coming back, you know. There's that, there are now relapses to deal with. Yeah. It leaves us with a lot of baggage sometimes that we would want to sit down and probably review our decisions next time. That when I went out, this and this happened. When I allowed my relative to go out, this and this happened. Me and my brother went out and I lost him. My sister, the same happened. When I took part in this, I lost my business. I am not able to, you know, bring this together again. And now, probably this is someone that has, you know, dealt with, you know, probably addictions before or other psychological, you know, defects. And what happens is that they most probably, they might relapse to that. Yeah. So for me, it leaves us with unnecessary baggage. Yeah. But also, it leaves us with lessons that will help us to make better decisions, you know, after this has happened. Yeah. The next time it is happening, I'll want to sit down, look through what happened the other time, and I'll choose better. I'll probably choose peace over chaos. Yes. Right.
So as a mental health officer at this particular point now, what are we advocating for, or what are you advocating for as a mental health officer? Demonstrations are unavoidable. Yes. They tend to happen more often than we'd expect. Various reasons, not just political issues or economical issues. It could be something else. It could be teachers striking. It could be police brutality. We saw some scenarios like in Kiamaiko along Outer Ring Road. So demonstrations are unavoidable. But as a mental health officer, what do you advocate for, whether as an active participant in demonstrations or a non-active participant in demonstrations?
I'll repeat myself. I'll choose peace. And that is what I would advocate for. I believe that we can demonstrate without breaking someone's shop. Yeah. We can demonstrate without having someone killed. We can demonstrate, you know, without kung'oa hizo leri and, you know, doing funny things. We can have peaceful demonstrations. I don't think really, you know, messing up with expressway will help us with anything. At the end of the day, it doesn't help us with anything. So what I would advocate for is for peace, and also for, you know, our leaders to have a place where they can have a dialogue, a peaceful dialogue, you know, not thinking about themselves, but thinking about these people that are really genuinely in need, because citizens are the ones that are in need. And if at all someone is going to help Kenya, they have to stop thinking about themselves, that I want this as so-and-so, and I am so-and-so, I want this, the other person, I want this. If they stop thinking about themselves and actually thought about the service they are giving to these people that they are leading, then I think we will have a better country. We will have a better space. We will have a better way of doing things now and even in the future. Yeah.
You've actually mentioned dialogue, which has actually pushed me to ask, when leaders dialogue, or when we see some sort of dialogue between very influential people that have the power to influence whether we'll have demos or not. Yeah.
But the day they come together, sit down when they go, we are comfortable giving you our daughter. What does that make you feel?
Relieved.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So we are the ones who are being given, you know. And if these parties actually can come together in dialogue, you know, and get to a point where they can sit on one table and, you know, say, we did this right, we did this wrong, we can change here, we can change here, and I think things are going to be okay, then that gives the whole country peace. Yes.
Yeah. All right, so quite insightful, Mwende, and I'd love to just thank you for that. Perhaps if you've got any closing remarks to make.
One thing I would want Kenyans to know is that I'll talk about mental health, and one thing people have not embraced, we as a country, is therapy or looking for help, even when we know clearly that our mental health is not stable or is not there in order. There's that part of I get a lot of when you tell someone that they are supposed to go for therapy or look for a therapist or go look for help, they're like, when it gets probably to they are supposed to pay for that, what they ask is, nitalipa mtu kuniongelesha tu. You know, I feel like we do not, take these things seriously, and they are as serious as you being physically sick and going to see a doctor. So your mental health is as important as your physical health. So it is perfectly okay for you to say and accept that you're not okay and look for someone to help you with that. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Lilian Mwende, a mental health officer who just joined us today to focus on the psychological effects of demonstrations. I've learned quite a lot. There could be trauma, traumatic experiences from what is happening. And as she mentioned, therapy, it's quite important. It's not just about, you're going to talk to somebody, but you're going to talk to someone who will listen to you and give you professional advice. So triggers, trauma, anger, all effects of demonstrations, and we can only hope that we're able to protect our children as well. So I'd love to look at some of your feedback. Daniel Salano says insightful. We also have one Mzuka Kibao says amazing conversation. Elosi Mwendo says good work Mwende, the sky is the limit. And Marceline Andisi as well says tuned in, love to see you speaking to the world. That is on YouTube. On Facebook we have Terian Mweki who says I didn't know the effects run so deep. Oh my. Well, we hope that you are aware now, and you can also put that awareness out as well. Joy Kanyiri and Derek Wangila as well watching from Bungoma. Asante sana. So thank you for your feedback and for the sentiments that have been coming in. Remember, this conversation does not have to end here. We can always engage throughout the day. Just talk to us on our feedback lines, our SMS line as well, and we'll be able to look for you. If you need the services of a mental health officer or a psychologist, Mwende is here, so all you have to do is reach out and we'll be able to refer her to you. So that brings us to the end of our program this morning. Thank you so much for watching. If you've missed it, you can always rewatch it on our social media handles. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Have yourselves a blessed morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you.